And we are live. Welcome, guys. I'm going to wait a couple minutes to see, to get everyone on. But this is our Empower call for, what's the date? December 12th. It's almost Christmas. The holidays are here and it's launch week. This is a big week for us. I'm really excited. All right. I know. Are you done shopping?
I haven't started.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna Amazon Prime it like everything
Yes.
last minute.
Yes.
Like 10, or it's like gift cards galore.
It's the best thing ever. All right, let's see. Okay, we have some. Just wait a minute.
I don't have kids though, Tara, so that's different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have to be ahead of the ball.
Yeah, you do.
But you have fur babies. Those count.
Treats. He loves treats. That's hard.
Food. All right, guys, we're going to kick this off, and then whoever hops on, great. I'm excited today. We have such an amazing guest speaker. Joan Crocker and I have been friends with this business for a while. We were in a previous test group before. Joan just finished the 80-day obsession test group, and she's going to share with us, you know, what she thought, her story, and we're going to ask her some questions. So if you guys have questions as we go through this, great, leave them in the chat box, because I'm able to see them, I believe. And well, let me just introduce her to you guys. She is amazing. Joan she's been coaching for 4 years. She's a 10-star diamond, 3-time elite coach. She's a Success Club 10 legend, and this is her second test group, right? That you were in. Yeah. She was in one with me, 22-minute hardcore. So this is a really great opportunity. I mean, that one, we had a lot of fun, but I think this one was even better because of the people that were just involved, and her results are insane. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Joan, and you can share your story, and then I'll hop back on.
Sure, absolutely. So this is my first like little YouTube hangout thing. This is really weird and interesting. I like it. So yeah, I had just gotten back from Coach Summit in July down in New Orleans. And I was fully planning on jumping into Shift Shop because that was our new program that had just been released. And I had my whole team like all gung-ho to do it with me and all my challengers ready. And then I kind of was like, guys, I can't do it with you. Because I got an email from corporate asking me if I would participate in this. And you guys, it was so like cryptic. The email we got was like, there's this trainer that's going to be doing this, and they didn't tell us who the trainer was. They said it was going to focus a lot on nutrition, didn't really give us any information other than that. And the only thing that we knew was that it was going to be a very popular female trainer. So we're sitting there thinking, it could be Shalene, it could be Autumn. Like, if it's Shalene, maybe she's going to be doing some sort of like intermittent fasting with us. If it's Autumn, like, I don't know, you know, like we just didn't know. And of course, I just signed the dotted line and said yes, because, you know, I've done a test group before. I know how incredible they are for you because there's just such a strong accountability within them that keeps you going. And so I said yes, printed up the paperwork, signed it, and sent it back. And then I immediately had like a pit in my stomach because I realized that the group started on July 31st. And I was like, oh my God, like I just committed to a test group through the rest of the summer. Like my birthday was coming up. My husband's birthday was coming up. We had 7 other family birthdays in the month of August to get through. Guests from out of town, friends coming to the lake house to visit, Labor Day, like you freaking name it. And I was like, oh my God. And summer's my favorite time of year because like in Maine, dude, it's not nice out very often. So I'm like, great, I get to hang out at the lake and I can go have pizza on the boat and I can drink cocktails. And that was all of a sudden taken away from me. So I do want to start with telling you that because you may have that feeling too. Going into 80-day obsession, you're like, okay, it's 80 workouts, but you guys, it's actually 90 days. So they're not counting your rest day as a workout day. And so you might be thinking to yourself, oh my God, can I commit to this for 3 months? And I'm going to get into that and tell you that you can. So, I mean, I also had other things that popped up too. Like, you know, a very good family friend died, had to go to a funeral, had to like be traveling back and forth. You know, there were things that came up that I was like, how am I going to do this? But I did it. And then other people in the challenge group were dealing with like the hurricanes down in Florida and Puerto Rico. And like literally anything that could possibly happen to this group happened. But because of the group, we all made it through. Really. And because of Autumn, and I will give huge kudos to Autumn, she was in that group every single day. Every single day, posting, answering questions. If somebody had put something up, she was commenting on it. She was posting her own pictures of the workout from the day. I mean, we knew she did it. We just saw her on TV do it. But she was posting her, you know, sweaty selfie and really just being like the ultimate challenger and sharing with us how to also be the best challengers and leaders of groups that we could be. So I'm very thankful for that. And she gave us so much information. And so it really helped us through. So in terms of the group, let's talk about that for a second, or the actual program. Let's talk about that for a second. So it's 80 days of workouts, doesn't count the rest days. So it's actually a full 90-day program. Every workout is different. So there's 3 different phases, or you could just say 3 different months. And in month 1, phase 1, you have 6 workouts that you're rotating through. So you have like a booty day, you have a total body core day, you have one called arms, abs, and ass. You have one that is a cardio day, which is more of like a HIIT type cardio. You have another cardio day that is a little different than any cardio that you've ever done. I'm not going to give you too much information on it because I want you to be like, ooh, this is different. And then what am I missing? Leg day. So you have all of those different days. There's 6 different workouts. And you start off week 1, you go through them, and you do it in a certain amount of sets and a certain amount of reps in a certain, like, I don't know how to rep scheme, I guess is what I should say. So, and then the next week she changes all of those. So it's the same workouts, same moves, but different sets, different reps, different order, all of that sort of thing. And then it changes again and again. And then you go into phase 2 and you get a whole new set of workouts. And then you go into phase 3 and you get a whole nother set of workouts. And so I know at first too, when she was explaining this before we even got started and I was looking at the calendar, I was like, wait, we just do arms, abs, and ass like this day and then this day and then this day. Like I get so bored with doing the same workout over and over again. You cannot get bored with this program. It changes constantly, and then you're constantly challenged. So there's definitely a reason why nobody plateaued during this and why I literally was able to see change in my body weekly. Like weekly. I would take a picture, and every week, regardless of whether the scale changed or not, my body was changing before my eyes. My clothes were fitting differently. The inches were changing. And so that's pretty much how it goes in terms of like the workouts. Now, the nutrition. The nutrition was something that it only took me like a week to get used to. And then after that, I was in it. It was easy peasy. This program is the only program that I've ever done where I do not feel like I'm starving, where I don't feel like I'm deprived, like I can't eat something that I want. And yet I was eating cleaner than I ever had. And so the difference is because this is more of a heavy lifting program, and she's doing things in compound movements and using the loops and the sliders and, you know, dumbbells and all of that stuff in such a way that's keeping your body guessing, you have to fuel it properly. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to eat 1,200 calories and like jump around all day and I'm going to get thin. It doesn't work like that. So this program was so different because I think every single one of us calculated it out. Well, some people may have stayed in like plan A, but I think for the most part, everybody who did their first calculation for phase 1 ended up in like B or C, or they were in A, but like just slightly in A. And so for me, I've never done a Beachbody program where I didn't land in plan A. And I was like, so that was number 1. So I was like, ooh, I get to eat in plan B. And then we were about 3 weeks in and I messaged Autumn and I was like, scale's not really moving anymore. Like it was at first, it's not now. And she told me to eat more. So she moved me up a bracket. Now, I'm not telling you to go and like make up your own rules and like eat more when you just feel like you're hungry or like whatever, because in phase 2, which was a half a week away, we would have recalculated for me and it would have moved me up to plan C anyways. So that was like fine that I did it a few days in advance. But what other program have you guys done where while you're doing it, you move up a bracket during your program to eat? And I will tell you, I think 100% of us in the test group all moved up in the next bracket on that phase 2 calculation. So again, you're eating more food than you're used to. You're also eating every 2 hours. It's time nutrition. She tells you when to eat and what to eat. You are not doing intermittent fasting. There are so many people in the group who were used to that, and they were like, well, what if I do the time nutrition, but I don't eat until after 11 a.m.? And she was like, that's not the program. It's not the program. Like, no. Well, what if I don't know if I can eat that much before I work out and yada, yada, yada. And she was like, you need to fuel your body before these workouts. They are that hard. And it is true. They are difficult. They will challenge you. Remind me to talk about equipment, Tara. And so, you would eat. So she's going to tell you when to eat after you've woken up. She's going to tell you when to eat before your workout. She's going to tell you when to eat after your workout. And she's going to tell you to time out the next 3 meals after that, basically 2 hours after that, every 2 hours after that. But she's not just telling you when to eat. She's telling you what containers to eat in conjunction with each other at those times. So like, you'll be like, oh, it's a red, a green, a yellow, and a teaspoon right now. That's what I need to make for a meal right now. Now, we didn't have this in the test group. Like, I know that there weren't any recipes or like specific, hey, this recipe right here goes with these containers. So like, just make that during this time. We kind of had to guess it on our own. I'm not sure if they have, I'm sure that they have within the nutrition guide that they're releasing, put some example days and all of that stuff. And I know that when Autumn did a call for me the other day, she said that on Fixate, they're actually creating recipes that fit like those container groups so that you can kind of just grab one and go, which I thought was brilliant. So what else about the nutrition? It was a test group, you guys, so we did not drink. We did not have 1 sip of alcohol. That was another thing that I was like, oh my God. So now I'm not going to be able to have like a glass of wine on my birthday or like, like whatever. It was tough to get my head around, but I started not even wanting it. Like I started going out and being like, seltzer water, I'm having just as much fun as everybody else here and I'm drinking seltzer water and I'm not ruining my goals and I'm going to wake up the next day and I'm going to feel freaking awesome and I'm going to jump right back into my routine and they're all going to feel like shit. And it was just so true. It was so true. And so I think it was Amy Silverman in the group actually. And like, of course we had to do no alcohol anyways because it was a test group, but she goes, I challenge you guys to literally do like 90 days no drinking and see how you feel. And I'm going to challenge everybody on this call to not have a sip of alcohol while you do this program. Because I think that if you do, you're going to turn around and you're going to be like changed. That doesn't mean that I haven't had cocktails since. I have. But I've even noticed that like I'll have 1 or 2, you know what I mean? Whereas before I would have just been like, screw it, it's party, like whatever. And, or I'll choose not to on like a date night. And I was never like that before. And I'll tell you that that's been a game changer for me, for my energy, for my focus, for my business, for everything. So I would definitely recommend at least trying it and trying to make it through. And if you have like it's January, you guys, that we're starting this. You've already made it through the holidays. You've already gone way probably far and beyond what you should in terms of like indulgence. So like let it go and be like, I just partied for like basically an entire month. Like now it's time to like hold on to this for 3 months. The other thing, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, so I'm just going to say it anyways, but there's this thing called like refeed days within the nutrition plan. And so those aren't introduced until like week 6, and I won't go into a whole lot about them, but basically you get to eat your dirty yellows and you get to kind of almost like it's not like a splurge. It's basically refeeding your glycogen stores because you've been working so hard, and they come the day before leg day. And so then leg day, you'll have a little bit more energy. You feel like you can push a little bit harder. And they definitely come right at the exact time that you need them. It's the time where you're feeling a little lethargic. You're feeling like, maybe I do kind of want like a treat or something. And then you can go and you can splurge and you can eat these healthier, like, dirty yellows that kind of make you feel like you had a cheat day, even though you didn't. So that's kind of the nutrition plan. That's the workout equipment. So in terms of equipment, yes, you need your loops, your sliders, and your weights. I would say, ladies, lift heavier than you think you can. Like, my changes in my body started happening really quickly. And I remember like Brittany Leggett in the group going, Joan, what are you lifting? And I told her, and she's like, holy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to go as heavy as I possibly can so that I can get the best changes that I can. So, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is if you pick up a super heavy weight and it's like, oh, my form's gone, or oh, this is too heavy, is put it down and pick up something lighter. But I would not be afraid of heavy weights in this program. I would go as hard as you can. The loops, guys, they look like they're like cute little loops. They're mean. They're not friendly. They are, brutal. And at first, I will tell you, the first like week or two, they're really frustrating. They're rolling up and down your body. They're not staying place. When they roll, they turn into like a tourniquet on your freaking leg, and you're like dying and getting bruises. You look like somebody's beat you up. Like, seriously, like, good thing it's not summer because you're not wearing shorts, because you're gonna have bruises on you. And and it's frustrating. And she's moving quickly from move to move, and she's telling you not to be frustrated, and you're like, right? So I'm gonna tell you, don't get frustrated. Hit pause. Fix your band if you need to. And after like the first week or two, you will start figuring out like proper placement for each move where it won't move. Like, there's some where you want it a little higher on your thighs. There's some where you want it a little more towards your knee. If they are rolling like crazy all the time, no matter what you do, it means you need to go up in your band or double up in your bands, because your legs are strong, and that's why that's happening. So those are a couple things. Sliders. This seems like it's such like, oh, basic information, but some people had these questions. Keep the felt on them if you have a hardwood floor or like cement or something. Take it off if you're on carpet. They will not work on rubber. So you'll need to get like a just like a throw carpet or something, or even put a towel down if you're going to use them on like a rubber surface, because they won't work with either thing if you don't. They're amazing because the way she has you use them, you're working your upper body all the time. And, it's funny because like on butt day or leg day or like all these other days, she's always like, I bet you didn't realize you'd be using your upper body so much. And you are. And then like the changes I had just through here were insane because of that. And, then it's also targeting like that lower belly area below your belly button, where it's like super hard for us females to get like flat. Are like your best friend for that. But the whole program is all core, butt, and really, I mean, it's your whole body, like almost every day. Anything else that I wanted to share before you ask me questions? I don't know. I think that's it.
Awesome. So, okay. So I feel like so many people and coaches, customers, everyone have that mindset you had in the beginning. Like, that fear that over 80 days, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I couldn't barely do 21. Like, how am I going to, like, it's almost like you have to talk yourself into it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have those feelings, and did you do a certain personal development through that?
Yeah. So, let's see, in terms of personal development, I mean, I always just do my own jam where I meditate, and I also read a lot of Gabby Bernstein. But for me, like, I was part of a test group. Like, I couldn't let Autumn down. I had told her I was going to do this. So something that I may recommend is like within a group that you're doing or joining, we did Zooms a lot. So like, it was like, I couldn't skip my workout because we were all going to be on there and you could see each other doing a Zoom. The other thing you could do is maybe sign something, maybe have everybody sign something that says like, I'm going to do this to a T. I'm not going to skip my workouts. I'm not going to drink. I'm, going to stick to the nutrition plan. And I will tell you that, if you start questioning that, whether you can do it or not, keep in mind, like I said, there are people who were like literally having to flee their homes and had no electricity because they were in the middle of hurricanes and had printed out worksheets so that they could still do their workout and stick to their nutrition plan. And like, those sorts of things. I made it through parties. I made it through Labor Day. I made it through family gatherings. I made it through my birthday, like all of that stuff. And so keep that in mind, but also keep this in mind. If you do this and you do it to a T, you'll get the best results you've ever had in your life. So just keep playing that in your head. Like, okay, she said if I do this, And it's not just the best results. You're going to have like a complete mental shift. Like for me, it's like I don't really look at food anymore. Like I don't have this like emotional attachment to it. It's like food is fuel and I want to fuel my body because I'm addicted to the results that I'm getting. And I'll tell you that too, like even after week 1, when you saw like the initial results, you're like, oh, and so then you wanted to keep going. And then your weekly results, because you were sticking to the plan, were keeping you motivated because your results were so good. I will say this too, the scale does not move like you think it would. There were times where like I was like, the scale's just not moving. Is anything happening? And then my picture would be different, and I would be like, okay, well, I see something happening. A lot of people were feeling like that in the group. The cast for 80 Day Obsession went and had DEXA scans every phase. So they had one before they started and then one after each phase. And for those that don't know, a DEXA scan is like a body composition scan. It's going to tell you your bone density, your body fat percentage, your muscle percentage. It even tells you like, you know, they'll tell you like, oh, this is a cortisol response happening right here, like yada, yada, yada. And I think they had RMR testing done too. So resting metabolic rate. So, you know, for instance, Autumn shared with us that like her resting metabolic rate was 1,500 calories. That means like if she was just to lay there in bed and do nothing all day long, in order for her to survive, she would need to eat 1,500 calories a day. So that kind of got some people over the like eat more thing. And then the scans themselves, when they were sharing with us each phase, like what was happening, and maybe they'll share that stuff in the that little show that they're doing, like the little obsessed show that they're doing where the cast talks each week, because we didn't see that in the test group. But the DEXA scans were showing that basically it was like pound for pound, like fat loss to muscle gain that they were experiencing, which is huge. And so for those of us who were, you know, averaging, I think I averaged probably about 1.5 pounds a week, even though the scale didn't do it like that, right? So it was like 6 pounds the first week and then like nothing for 3 weeks. And then like maybe 1 pound here or 2 pounds this day or like whatever. It was very sporadic, but at the end it was 18 pounds that I lost, and 20.25 inches. It didn't seem like that, right? It wasn't just like this steady, like, oh, I'm losing weight. It just kind of was. And then I'd look and I'd be like, oh, well, I mean, but if you calculate what I've lost over the month, it's basically like 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds, you know, a week or whatever. And so I was like, that's decent. And Autumn was like, hell yeah, that's decent. She's like, we're all gaining like 1 pound of muscle for 1 pound of fat, like fat loss, and you're losing, which means like that's huge. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So, so you won't experience it that way, but yeah, the results will keep you going. If you stick to the plan, like even after week 1, you'll be like, okay, I don't want to mess up because I want to keep going. I think that like self-care is super important. So like, you know, whether you're rolling or you're going to like a massage therapist or chiropractor or meditating, like those things to help you and your mindset and your body, because you will be putting it through like a lot of stress and whatnot, and to keep you on track and that sort of thing. Plus it's a nice way to treat yourself. If you're not able to like have a cocktail, go have a massage.
Yes, I agree 100%. Get yourself a new pair of sneakers.
Yes, new pair of sneakers. Like I got so many new workout clothes. That's another thing. It was 80 days of workouts, right, guys? So like Autumn wears something different for 80 days, and so does all the cast. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get that shopping, gonna get that, gonna get that. Like, yeah, it was always like, ooh, I like that outfit. And then because I was working hard, I rewarded myself with new sports bras and new shoes and new, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that's what it is. It's getting over that initial mindset. And like, what a great time to start something like this.
Yeah.
You set yourself up for the year. Like, and that's the thing I wanted to ask too. It's 80 days or 90 days. And then after, like, this is not something that you're going to continue back to back, right?
I did.
You are.
I did. I mean, the nutrition, I haven't been eating on point like this time just because we're in Vegas and then we were in California. We've got like, you know, we had Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that stuff. And I kind of was like, I'm going to stay on Time Nutrition and the containers as well as I can. And then if we have a night out or something, that's fine. But then starting in January with my team, I'm going straight back to, I'm not drinking. I'm not, you know, I'm sticking to the plan to a T. And I have to say, I almost miss the fact that like, since I've had like a couple of treats here and there, like I miss looking forward to refeed day. Like that's so weird, but I do. I'm like, oh, like that was fun. Like I want that back. So I'm like really excited about that. But yeah, it's a program that you can just keep doing. And then like the next round that you do it, it's still going to be hard. It's still going to change. You're still going to be humbled. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Because you're going to be adding stronger bands or doubling up. You're going to be lifting heavier, and then it's going to keep your body changing. I was just saying to Ryan, my husband, for those that don't know, that, I'm literally a pound up from when I ended the program. And I ended the program 7 weeks ago.
That's
And
crazy.
so yeah, so the difference is, and we traveled, and when I was in California, I literally ate whatever I want, drank whatever I want, did whatever I want. I worked out every day and I drank my shake every day, but there was no time nutrition. There was eating whatever you wanted. And I know every other cardio program that I have done, like if I messed up even for a weekend, I had totally killed all of my results. But with this program, because I've been sticking to it and lifting heavy, like there isn't that backslide that happens with most programs.
Because you're also gaining that muscle. And
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do it. Okay. Tell me about your supplements. Did you use any?
Oh yeah, I used the Beachbody Performance line the entire time. So I had Shakeology as a meal every day with the other containers that went with that particular red, and I would just blend them all together and drink my Shakeology. I drank Energize every day. I drank Hydrate every day. I had Recover formula every day, of course, except for my rest days, which was so tough because then you were like, I want Recover. Like literally, I think Recover is worth doing a workout for. So yeah, and then I did the what is it called? The Recharge with the casein in it for the first 2 weeks, and then I realized that the casein was giving me headaches, so I couldn't continue on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did the rest of the Performance line the entire time.
And do you think it's necessary?
I do. There were some people who started off not doing it and then got it, and they were like, oh my God, what a game changer. And I mean, if you guys haven't tried Energize before, I literally get excited for my workouts because I get to drink Energize. I'm like a crack addict. I'm like, that yellow powder, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. And then 15 minutes later, you're like, it's go time.
Yes.
But it's not like a super jittery. I know I went like this, but it's not like a super jittery feeling. Your skin actually might start to feel a little itchy or tingly, but it's not like a jittery, oh, I'm high on caffeine feeling. It's a more concentrated feeling, and it almost lifts my mood and my energy. So I love that. And that definitely helps you push through. These are long workouts, you guys. I know I didn't say the time of the workouts yet, but they're between 45 minutes and an hour, every single one of them. So, yeah, Energize is important to help you push through it. And then I know a lot of people started doing Recover because they were so freaking sore. My butt is so sore today, you guys, from booty day yesterday. And literally this is phase 2, week 2, what am I in, week 1 or 2? Week 2, booty day of phase 2 of this program. And I'm still sore, and I drank Recover yesterday. So, I mean, it definitely helps you to push harder the next day and to keep going, because it's going to stave off that muscle fatigue and soreness.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And Energize, once, that's the cool thing about it. Once you take it, you're committed. You have to work out. It's not you're going to talk yourself out of it. So. Yeah.
And then as far as Hydrate goes, I'm not the type of person who will really drink Hydrate if I'm just going to do a 21-day fix, 30-minute workout, because you don't need it. Maybe if you're doing Insanity Max 30, it makes sense for a 30-minute workout, but anything that's less intense than that for 30 minutes, you don't really need Hydrate. You can drink water. But like I said, these programs are super intense for an hour. And so you are going to lose electrolytes. You are going to need to hydrate your body. And with Hydrate, it takes care of that. And literally I would have, one of these filled with Hydrate and I would be okay. Those who weren't if you're not hydrated, you're going to experience some fatigue. You're going to experience headaches, that sort of thing. So I do recommend it. Plus, you guys, it's built right into the nutrition plan, and it doesn't count as your container, so it feels like you're getting something extra.
It does. That's awesome. It's great for kids too, instead of Gatorade or Powerade. My kids, and during the stomach bug that we're going through right now, that's what we've been drinking.
I know a lot of people who do it for hangovers.
Yes, it works. Okay, let me see if I have any. If you guys have questions, you can put it in the comments. But hold on. I think that's it. I love the Zoom workouts because I have a couple coaches doing those in the morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could commit to that. I mean, you're doing your workout, you're waking up, and it's like a commitment, but I feel like so many people need that.
Yeah, I agree. And it's that extra accountability that people are lacking. And then when you see a friend on the screen, like pushing hard, you're going to push hard too. You might not give up on a move that you may have if nobody was watching.
Right.
And yeah, the other cool thing too, you guys, is this program's only being released like a week at a time. And so I think that will keep people on track too, because you're like, oh, like, I don't want to miss it Monday when that new workout comes out. Like, I don't want to be behind. Like, I want to be able to like check it out and do it. So I think that's like another added bonus, benefit for yourself and for like other people and like your groups and stuff that are doing it.
Yeah, like this January 15th, and that's the date, right? Is the only time that you can do this with someone else on the same, like we're all doing it together. You're going to see it all over social media. It's going to be amazing. Just that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
You should be. It's so good.
I'll be messaging you all the time about it. Like, oh my God.
It's so good. You're going to love it. And I really do think it's like a game changer. And just one last thing before we get off, like, I know that so many people were so in love with the fact that we had 30-minute or less workouts that lasted 20 days or, whatever. But here's what I've found. The people that I know that have really held on to like their results and completely changed their mind in terms of their health and fitness are those who started out with a program that was longer than 21 days. It's those people who started out with like the ridiculously long, like P90X, where they were hour-long workouts for 90 days, or Insanity, which was hour-long workouts for 60 days. Chalene Extreme, Turbo Fire were all longer programs too. And I think that, that there's something to be said about that. There's a habit that's formed. There's a mindset change that happens during that time. It does take more commitment. You are going to be faced with more obstacles that are coming your way. Oh, I should show you my card. Oh, this is the card I picked today. Can you read it?
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. So, you're going to face those things like while you're doing this program. There's no doubt about it that like you are going to have temptations. You are going to be invited out and maybe like you say no because you know that you won't be able to handle it. Or maybe you go when you're worried that you're not going to have as much fun. There's going to be all of those things, but like you can do it. And when you push through it, that is like when that lasting change is going to happen for you, for your health, for everything. So
I agree. I have one more question, but I just wanted to add one thing to what Joan said about that. And I just feel like because we live in this quick fix, this, everything's quick. We have to have our workouts quick. We have to, our mentality, like we don't stick to things. We don't persevere when crap happens in our life. Like you were just talking about those obstacles. We don't overcome them. We just, and they get us down for months. It's like this type of program sets you up with that mindset of you're going to be a warrior. This is going to be your year and you're going to plow through whatever comes your way because we're going to have those things come our way.
Yeah.
It's light. All right. Are the workouts to be done at specific time with the planned nutrition, or are there different workarounds with the nutrition for people that work out first thing in the morning, later at night?
Yes. Yeah. So right within the nutrition plan that it'll say like, so if you were to like wake up at 6:30 and then do this, like, and you work out at 9:30, or like if you are somebody who doesn't work out till 5 p.m., here's how you would change that like bracket of when you eat. Like it lays it all out.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, I love plans that lay it out for you,
It really allows you like to just trust in the process. Mm-hmm. Like, because you know that this was created by experts, you know that you can't be messing it up because you're literally eating exactly what they told you to eat at the exact right time. And, you're doing the workouts that they told you, like you're doing all of those things. You're watching, it pushes you, the whole workout pushes you because it's just like as if Autumn was right there working out with you because you're seeing she's lifting heavier than she did last week. She is doing a stronger band than she did last week. So then you're like, oh, I need to do that too. So like you're growing too because she's showing you that. Whereas before, if it was just a bunch of workouts that were just recorded and thrown up there, you wouldn't know that like, hey, you probably should lift heavier if it's like, the next week right now. Yes. So there's all of those things, that are going for you in this program. And I think that like, I don't even know where I was going with that or where I started with that, but
It's not like anything else.
It's not like anything else. It's not like anything else. It's going to change things for you, and you can just really trust. That's what I was talking about. You can really just trust the process because it's laid out for you. There's no room for error. You can't be messing things up. Like, you can just, you're going to get amazing results.
Yeah, that's what it is people need that laid out for them. What do I need to do? I will follow it. And once they have our accountability, our support in our groups, guys, and if you're doing this, the people that are joining you will do it with you. If you're keeping yourself accountable, you're going to keep them. You can't be talking about this if you're not going to do it, right? Your energy and your groups are going to be better, everything. And it's going to start you off on the right foot this year. So,
yep, absolutely.
So 2 more days, right? And then we get the challenge pack and all that.
2 more days, we get access to the challenge packs. Then A Little Obsessed is coming out the week after that. And then the nutrition plan for this comes out on the 8th of January, which is great because that's going to give you guys a full week to kind of prep, plan, look it over, figure out where you're at in the brackets, like ask any questions that you need to, etc., before you get going so that when that first workout's dropped on the 15th, everybody's ready to go.
Right. Love that. And the group with Autumn. We're going to be in a group with Autumn, which is awesome.
It is awesome.
I mean, we get what you guys had, just on
I got one with her. I will tell you, it is awesome because I really do. I don't know if anybody was at where were we? Punta Cana. I don't know if anybody was in that session where they were interviewing Autumn, and Carl Deichler said she's like the hardest working person at Beachbody. I can legit tell you now she is the hardest working person at Beachbody. Like she was like filming the cooking show, creating this little plan that she has on the side, running our challenge group, running a different challenge group, like doing these workouts that she was filming for us every single day. Like literally she had to be there in the studio every single day to film these for us. I mean, and like how on top of stuff she was, I was like, she's a great person to look at as a mentor for like how to run your own life and business. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you, Joan. It was awesome having you here. And the link, you can still use the link. It should be live so that you guys can catch the recording, and we'll see you here next week. Thanks, Joan.
You're welcome.